Welcome everyone to another Singerreise Video Podcast. My name is Jonathan Silvia and I'm your host. Thanks for joining us. As some of you may know, I'm currently in a production of The Magic Flute at Seattle Opera. There are still a few performances left, so make sure to grab a ticket and check it out. Here on Singerreise, I've already talked about Magic Flute as a Singspiel in a previous video. I also talked about the mixing together of different religions, philosophies, and cultures in the Magic Flute. Then I presented and sang Oasis und Osiris, Sarastro's first aria. You'll definitely want to go back and check out those videos and all of the other videos at the Singerreise YouTube channel. But for this video, we'll talk a little bit more about the plot of Magic Flute, about the Seattle Opera production, and Sarastro's second aria. So let's talk a little about the story. Throughout the Magic Flute, there are two opposed factions. The first one that we see is led by the Queen of the Night. She has the three ladies, that's their actual name, and a slave called Monostatos in her retinue. On the other side is Sarastro and his fraternity. Their symbols are sun and light. In his entourage are the first and second priest and the speaker. And yes, those are their names. It's all very practical. Caught in the middle are Tamino, a prince, and Pamina, the daughter of the Queen of the Night. Typically, the Queen of the Night is considered the bad guy, and Sarastro is considered the good guy. And over the course of the opera, Tamino and Pamina are united under the Sarastro banner. The events leading up to Sarastro's second aria, in diesen, heil'gen, Hallen, certainly seem to be heading in that direction. Pamina is given a dagger by her mother, the queen, and is told to kill Sarastro with it. The assassination attempt gets interrupted, first by Monostatos and then by Sarastro himself. Instead of retaliation, Sarastro sings a magnanimous aria about how, in his hallowed halls, hatred and revenge are not permitted. Instead, his brotherhood preaches man, loving his fellow man. However, there's a quirk in the language here that opens some debate, and it revolves around how you translate the word mensch. Mensch and the plural Menschen occur no fewer than 4 times in this aria. And just like in Older English, mensch can be translated as man, or mankind, or humankind. It is both gender-specific and gender-neutral. But we have to consider that Mozart happens to have lived in a time when racism and gender inequality were the norm. The brotherhood that Mozart envisioned was likely with his other enlightened Freemason buddies, free from the chaos of women, from the black Moorish immigrants, and from the meddling of the Roman Catholic Church. There had been no emancipation of slaves by this point and no universal suffrage for women. While that kind of brotherhood sounded idyllic to Mozart, it isn't so idyllic for those that are on the outside, and it poses obvious problems for today's audiences. Most productions of the Magic Flute just gloss over the most inflammatory parts of the language, changing and translating a word here or there so that Sarastro's cult remains the good guys. However, Seattle Opera's production goes somewhere between. For Seattle Opera, a few unsavory parts of the cult are retained. For example, Sarastro's cult still treats women as second-class citizens or even as property. There's a particularly unsavory line, again from the original text, where Sarastro says that women need a man to guide them. This gets a boo and a hiss from the audience every night. Also, I'm sharing a dressing room with Ryan Beatty, who I interviewed for Singerreise a little while ago, and he pointed out to me that in this opera, the word is always Weib or Weibchen, which means wife. They never use the word Frau, which is the usual word for woman. The cult also beats slaves as punishment, even while talking about love and forgiveness. And Sarastro seems just as willing as the queen to manipulate others in order to get his own way. When presented with two options that are both distasteful, here Tamino and Pamina choose to go off in their own direction. In the polarized society that we live in right now, I find this a positive and hopeful message. Seattle Opera's production is also colorful, beautiful, and poignant. And despite what I've talked about here, is also not so dark that kids can't come and enjoy it along with the adults. It's evocative and imaginative, and I hope you'll come and see it, just after you watch me sing this little aria. If you want to find out more about the life of a working opera singer, check out our website, singerreise.com. There you'll find articles and resources all about singing. You can also follow us at facebook.com/Singerreise or at twitter.com/Singerreise. There you can use the @Singerreise handle. You are currently watching the Singerreise YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to that. And support us at patreon.com/Singerreise. There, for just $1 or few every month, you can help create these Singerreise videos and make sure that Singerreise is there in the future. Coming up next for Singerreise will be another singer interview. I'll be happy to announce that in a little bit. More of the 99 Reasons campaign. You can check that out on YouTube. More of the 7 Tips for Singer Taxes series. And then we're back to Winterreise. So I hope you'll keep tuning in and watching these videos. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll tune in for the next one.